Well, welcome to Nollywood Radio France. I'm your host, Cyprian Josson. My special guest today is Chris Ihidero, director of the movie It Happened to Me. Please stay with us.
It happened to me. HIV. It is not a death sentence. Bye. Yeah, I'm going to join you. Oh, my woman. Every man. My neck and come not the low. It's not a death sentence. Just come and be tested. You can't test the again. Marie of status. It's not a death sentence. Just know your
I would like you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, my name is Chris Ihidero. I work with Amaka Igwe Studios in Lagos, Nigeria. I am the director of It Happened to Me, a short film on HIV, AIDS, and young people in Nigeria.
So, why did you come all the way from Nigeria to show the movie in Paris? Is it because it's the capital of culture, or just give us a reason?
I guess so. The film was supported by Unesco, and Unesco wanted us to hold a premiere at the Unesco headquarters here in Paris because they saw it as a good film that will work as an advocacy tool. And since we're also close to the HIV/AIDS week, we thought it was a fantastic idea to come and premiere it, and it was fantastic. Which is why we brought it to Paris to come and see. It's a short film. It's only 15 minutes, but it's fantastic.
Okay. Yeah. And now, who were in the movie? I mean, the crew, and how did you do the casting? Or was it easy to get people coming to act in this movie?
It was pretty easy because, of course, I work with Amaka Igwe Studios, and that's a recognizable production company, the leading Nigerian TV and film production company. Secondly, there are only 4 professional actors in the film. Only the young people, DK, Kene, Sochima, and the young girl. They are the only 4. All the others were villagers. They had never acted before in their lives, and they were members of the village where we went to shoot, and they were magnanimous enough to partake in the film, and they all gave brilliant performances. I believe, and the film is done in Igbo language, which is very crucial. They were all comfortable because we are doing it in their mother tongue, in the language they speak every day, and which makes the acting real and all of that. So it was fantastic to have that experience. There aren't that many taboos that will stop people from doing a good film, knowing that you are passing across a message. So it was really great working with them, and the experience was fantastic.
Yeah, you said a great film. Why did you choose this subject, HIV?
Because as we know, it is, while there's been advances in medical sciences concerning HIV and contacting it and how people live with it and all of that, there are still some taboos around it. We still ascribe its contact perhaps to some evil spirit, some Ogbanje spirit and all. It is real. That's real. To pretend otherwise is to be foolish. And there are people who still are not having safe sex, who still are not doing all those things. Beyond that, there are people who are afraid to find out their status so that they won't have to go and because of fear. So the film encourages you to go find out your status, and that there is treatment available for you, and that HIV it's no longer a death sentence. And it was important to pass across that message, especially to young people who, as you know, are still in that point in their lives where they can take risk. And we want them to take informed, knowledgeable risk, not silly risk that could affect their lives. HIV is no longer a death sentence, even in Nigeria. PEPFAR, Unesco, UNAIDS, National Agency for the Control of HIV, they've all done fantastic work over the past 10 years to work on HIV. But as the report showed this year, the rate of infection is also rising. And it's a global thing, not just Nigeria, because people are now feeling that, we have dealt with this HIV thing, we can continue. And we are trying to remind people that no, we cannot continue to make choices that are not safe.
Now, one question is, how are you going to reach people? How are you going to send a message? Will you go to schools, or you go to churches, or how are you going to do it to reach a good number of people not to be contaminated?
In many ways, UNESCO already has a fantastic arrangement with a lot of NGOs who work in the area of HIV/AIDS. I attended a workshop in Abuja with them in December 2012, and what we are going to do on getting back to Nigeria is to put this film in DVDs and send to each and every one of them. And they work already on the field, so everywhere they go, they will show the film as one of the moves to get people to talk about HIV and AIDS. That's one. Secondly, it's going to be online, and we have experienced this with our last short film, which currently has over 100,000 views on YouTube. It's also going to be on where young people go in Nigeria, which is to social media. Bella Niger, Linda Ikeji, NetNG. These are the most popular sites for young people in Nigeria. The film will be on those sites. Finally, it's going to be on television. We have made a deal with Q Entertainment Networks, which is going to show the film all through 2014. And Q is going to be received in 44 countries across Africa on the DSTV platform. So we already are going to get the film to everybody wherever they may be.
Now, talking about the protection of young people, especially young people, because they are the future generation, are you going to encourage them to use condoms, like we have got condom machines in Paris and everywhere in Europe? Is that one of the ways to help them not to be contaminated? Can you do that in Nigeria, really?
Everybody preaches abstinence as the first course, but reality has shown us that in environments where condom use has been emphasized, there's been a reduction in infection of HIV. That is a fact. That's not an opinion. So what we are trying to do with this film is to, of course, encourage young people to go towards that area. Condoms are easily and readily available almost everywhere in Nigeria. Yes, we do not have vending machines, but there is always the Megad or the store where a packet of condom is sold. So it's not that condoms are not easily available, and they are cheap. The last time I checked, you would get a pack of 4 condoms for like 20 naira. Okay. So they are easily available, they are cheap. It's to encourage people to use them and not to take risky action. That's the next stop for us.
Now, I don't know you really, but I know from talking with you that you've got an extensive biography. Let's talk about other movies you've done.
I haven't done any full feature movies. I've done 2 short films. The first one is called Big Daddy, which is a short film on rape, and it's available on YouTube. We did that 2 years ago, and it was through that film that Unesco contacted us to do this film, actually. Yes, we did that 2 years ago, and it was a big hit in Nigeria. I have done about 100 hours of television directing Fuji House of Commotion in Nigeria, which is produced by Makaigwe Studios, directing VIP, Now We Are Married, Tempest, all the other things I've worked on since I moved to film from the theater in 2007. Okay. Yeah, I worked in the theater for 10 years before I moved to film in 2007, and it's been a fantastic experience. So these are the things I have done. I also work as a writer. I write a weekly column for Nigerian Entertainment Today. I do trainings for the British Council, for the Center for Excellence in Film and Media Studies, which is the training arm of Amaka Igwe Studios. So those are basically the things I do.
Yeah, but I see, I understand that your subjects are not just light subjects. There are subjects for debate. Now you've chosen rape again. Do you think there's a lot of rape in Nigeria? Or?
Of course, we don't treat rape well in Nigeria because oftentimes the victim is always blamed, which is sad. And 2 years ago, I thought that we needed to address that, which was why I made Big Daddy. Yes, my subjects tend to be that way when I make short films, because I believe that the short film medium is the best, perhaps the easiest way to tell a story and make an impact. It doesn't cost a great lot of money to do. It is small, it is short, so it can be taken immediately by a lot of people. You can push it on mobile phones, on the internet. You can get it around easily. So I've decided that I'm going to use my short films to make an impact, to address issues I am concerned about. Next year I'll be doing a couple of short films on mental health in Nigeria. I'll be doing another one on HIV, but HIV is not the core story. It's more about survival as human beings. I have all those kind of things lined out. So my promise to myself is at least once every year, I'll make a short film that discusses an issue that we usually will not talk about in Nigeria.
Just the last question. Can you tell us how much, an estimate, or how much a short film can cost, the whole production?
The first thing you get in training as a filmmaker is you never know how much a film would cost until you have seen a screenplay. Because one scene in a short film, say for instance, if your scene opens by saying a plane lands in Lagos, that scene already takes half of your budget. So you never know how a film can cost. An estimate is it can be from between 1,000 naira to 1 million to 20 million. Depends on what story you're telling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.